now? Okay. And then who we got now? Who can read this? Claire. Claire will be the next person. I'm not going to read what's on here. You want to know who they are, read this. I can just tell you you're in for a wonderful time based on the joy of last night. Okay, so it'll be Steve, Claire, Dolores, and then Antonio at last. So sit back. Listen for the things that make the story their story. That's called voice. Good morning.
Gather around, people. I got a story for you. It's a little bit crazy, but if you bear with me, I'm going to tell you the real, true story of the Pied Piper of Hamelin. This is a story that they've tried to keep away from everybody because they don't want them to know the real truth. But I found out about it through WikiLeaks. So a long time ago in the town of Hamelin, there was the mayor. Mayor Hubbard, he lived in a cupboard. And he had another mayor that worked with him. And they were both really, really greedy. They had a lot of gold stashed away. More than Fort Knox could ever hold. Fort Knox didn't exist yet, but if it did, it would be a lot more. Well, they didn't get along with each other. So, Mayor Hubbard made a side deal. And he made a deal with a family of rats. And the family of rats lived a couple of towns over. And he said, I want you to come in, I want you to infest this town. I want you to invite all your cousins, the worst cousins in the world, the inbred cousins, the cousins you hate, the drunks, the freaks, bring them all in. Everybody's welcome, and he left pieces of cheese everywhere to entice them all. Next thing you know, it was rat infestation. It was crazy. There were rats everywhere. It was a party of rats. Well, he had another friend on the side. We'll just call him Mr. Young. Well, Mr. Young was in on a side deal, and he had a pretty melody. But he had already planned it out with the rats that he would lead them out of town for a large sum of money and a lot of the gold. So he had this beautiful melody, and he came in and he presented his offer to the two mayors, one of whom was already in on the deal. He said, I will lead all the rats out of the fine town of Hamelin, and I will kill them all, and you'll never have to see them again. Well, they said, we will give you half of our money. It was so much gold, they'd never have to worry again. He said, I'll be here tomorrow at noon. He came dressed in bright colors, beautiful, beautiful outfits, silks from India, fine silks that came in. He dropped spices behind him, all kinds of things, and he played this melody. Now the rats were all in on the deal, and they followed him. And he led them all off into a big river, but there was a boat waiting, and it looked like the rats had drowned. And he said, I'm going to take you to a secret hiding place, to an underground railroad for rats. Now when Mr. Young came back to get the money, the top mayor had reneged on his deal, and he said, I'm not going to give you any of this gold. But Mayor Hubbard, who lived in the cupboard, told him the secret combination. So at midnight, he came back and he stole half the gold. But he said that's not enough. I'm going to take 132 of the children to follow me. And he played the same melody. And all the kids in town followed him. And they met up where all the rats were on another boat. And they sailed far across the oceans to a land called America. He said, I'm going to take you where there's more cheese than you'll ever find in your life than you'll ever need. And he took them to Wisconsin. To an underground farm with all kinds of mazes where blacks could live. They could have Limburgers, stinky Limburgers, Swiss cheese, Tillamook cheddar, Monterey Jack. It was cheese heaven. They had all the money in the world. Well, the Pied Piper, Mr. Young, he kept traveling with the kids. He said, we're going to go start our own little place. You guys get all the cheese. So he kept traveling west with all the kids singing the lovely melody. And he'd say, follow me wherever I go. Follow me through the sleet and snow. Follow me, I'm begging you please. I'll take you where there's lots of cheese. Follow me wherever you go. Follow me through the sleet and snow. Follow me if you get a cold and sneeze. I'll take you where there's lots of cheese. So he moved the kids to a cave in Utah. And they lived in that cave for a long time. And Mr. Young said he got a message from God, and God told him, just bring them young. All the kids you can. And the kids said, what is your first name? And he said, Brigham. And they just shortened it to Brigham. And that's where the Mormon religion started. And the Pied Piper had led them there. But Mayor Hubbard was in on the deal too, and he had moved out to Los Angeles. And he took half of the other money, and he said, I'm going to start my other religion. You can just call me Elron. And he only took 2 of the children that he let out, young Tom Cruise and Johnny Travolta. And they kept in touch with each other through their iPhones, even though the iPhone didn't exist yet. But that's what WikiLeaks knows. The iPhone did exist. So one day, one of the young children decided he was going to run for president. And he had a direct line to Wisconsin, where they dressed up a rat. And no matter how you dress a rat up in a suit, he picked him as his running mate. It was crazy. Now, I'm not going to tell you how the story ends, but I'm here to tell you I came down from the future, and it doesn't look pretty. So you better remember to vote and follow me. Follow me wherever I go. Follow me through the sleet and snow. Follow me if you just say please. Follow you to the land of cheese. And that's the true story of the